What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 7, man. It's day 7 of the challenge. Drop in the chat where you chiming in from, what city, what state. Drop your name, whether you coming in from your house, your place of business, your car, your basement, wherever it's at, wherever you're repping from, man. Drop it in the chat, your name, city, state, and where you coming in from, man. I want to know who's chiming in from where, man. Hope everybody's having a productive and profitable week. Most importantly, purposeful and blessed, and really in alignment, man. Let me know how the week's going, yeah. We're about to get it popping. I'm going to give everybody about a minute to jump in, minute and a half, and then I'm going to start. Today's the final day, man. Day 7. Hope y'all enjoyed the challenge, man. Hope y'all are enjoying it. Today's the final day. It's going to be popping, boys and girls. Hope y'all are ready, man. Because I know I am, man. Just got back from church. That's why I came on a little later than normal. But I had to get that juice in, man. Had to get it in. However you connect with your higher source, man, it's important to connect, whether you call it God, the universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you believe, man. It's important to be in alignment with that source and find your ways to connect, man. One of my many ways, because I connect through different avenues and channels of life, is going to service on Sunday, man. I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I believe in God is my Father, but that's my belief. Not everybody has the same belief, and that's on ya. But yeah, let's get it popping, man. This ain't about religion today. This ain't about a religion. It's never about religion. There's a difference with religion and spirituality, man. Learning to build that relationship, however you do it, is important. But anyway, let's get into day 7. Today's the resurrection, no pun intended. Man, you know what? This is the day that you bury your old self for good. That's right, man. You got to bury that old self because that old self can't go with the new self. So let's get one thing straight, though. You didn't come this far just to get hyped. You didn't show up for 6 days in a row just to get motivated. You came here to be reborn. Day 7 ain't just another video. This is a eulogy. We're burying the version of you that played small for so long. We're holding a funeral for the excuses, the hesitation, the cycles that tried to convince you that this was as far as you go. And I don't care if, who you were before this week. I don't care who you were before today. Because today you rise. Not with perfection, but with power from within. Not because you figured it all out, but because you finally stopped pretending the old life was still worth protecting. Let me take you back to the day where I truly woke up. It wasn't the first day that I got sober. It wasn't the day that I left the hospital after the second overdose. It was the day that I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize the man looking back. Bloated, soulless, wearing clothes that didn't fit, and a fake smile that fit even less. I had survived hell, but I hadn't stopped walking in it. And that's when it hit me. It hit me that survival's not the same thing as transformation. I had survived the drugs, survived the shame, survived the losses. But I was out there still wearing the identity of the broken man who crawled out of that fire. Instead of becoming the warrior who would build from the ash war. I refused to let the devil write the final chapter of my life. That was the resurrection moment for me. Not some magical breakthrough. It was a raw, gritty decision that I made. I'm done resurrecting dead cycles. I'm done I'm done not being the man that God kept me alive for. God kept me alive for a reason. It's my job to go out and live that reason. Today, it's about that for you. It's not about just getting up when adversity comes and hits you in the gut. It's about rising up as someone new, learning from the lesson of that adversity. See, a lot of you got up from a fall, but you stayed in the same outfit. Same patterns, same people, same pace. You started healing, but you kept defending the habits that caused the wounds. You started dreaming again, but you stayed loyal to the version of you who gives up too early. Day 7 is about disloyalty to the death you escaped. It's about honoring the pain, but no longer identifying with it. It's about owning the lessons, but refusing to relive the trauma. It's about finally stepping into your born-again power. Because let me be clear, there's a you that your pain created, and there's a you that your resurrection demands. And guess what? Those two, they can't coexist. You were the overthinker, the justifier, the someday starter. You were the one who said, I'll try, when you knew damn well that you were capable of finishing. You were addicted to the pain because it became your only proof that you were still alive. You wore those wounds like identity tags. And you let the world call it humility when it was really, you were just in hiding. You said things like, I'm working on it. One day I'll get back to it. I just need to figure some things out. But the truth was, you were shook. Scared of shedding the version of you that was familiar, even if it was killing your momentum. Let me take you back to a moment I had where back when I was out there trying to rebuild, I had one foot in purpose and one foot in past. I remember calling someone I used to get high with, not because I wanted the drugs, but because I missed the identity, that false sense of belonging. That day was a wake-up call, not because I realized, because I didn't, but because I realized that sometimes the devil doesn't tempt with destruction. He tempts with nostalgia. And that version of me, he was still scared to fully let go of what was killing him. That version of you might still exist, but they can't lead anymore. Today, we don't shame that version. We just bury that shit. We respect. With tears if needed, but with no hesitation. Because guess what? That old you, it had to exist in order to bring out the new you. You had to go through those adversities. You had to overcome those challenges. Because guess what? Overcoming adversity, that shit reveals character, man. But that version of you, it carried you as far as it could. But if you want to lead, if you want to build, if you want to own your name in rooms that you haven't even entered yet, that old version of you, it can't come where you're going. There's not room for the two of you. So say thank you and say goodbye to that old version. You became a fighter, a builder, a finisher. You became the kind of person who doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. You became the kind of leader who doesn't need applause to stay consistent. You started listening to your own voice, not just reacting to the noise. You started praying different. Not just asking for deliverance, but asking for discipline. You became someone who stops negotiating with destiny. You became the version of you who doesn't flinch when purpose calls. That's what happens when you bury the old self. Let me tell you something about that moment that I realized I became who I am. I was at a speaking event where half the audience didn't even know who I was. It wasn't even my people. No one had a comeback story. They were buttoned up, well-groomed executives. And I walked out there not trying to fit in, but trying to stand out. And I spoke my truth. I shared my addiction. I shared my downfall. I shared my blood, sweat, and tears. I spoke out about the overdoses, the spiritual bankruptcy, the rebuilding. And afterwards, one of the most polished dudes in the whole audience walked up to me. And he looked at me and he said, man, I haven't cried in about 15 years until tonight. You didn't just speak. You resurrected something in me. And that guy became a client that I've had for 5 years now. And in that moment, that's when I knew. That's when I knew this wasn't about being ready. This is about being authentic and raw and true to who I am. You don't want to become someone who's trying to fix your past. You got to be someone that's focused on forging your legacy. You'll never again be the person who waits when you bury that old self. You'll never again betray yourself to keep the peace. You'll never again shrink your light to make others feel comfortable. You'll never again fake humble when you're called to lead. You'll never again waste breath explaining your evolution to people still committed to misunderstanding you. From this day forward, you'll walk like you've been resurrected. Because once you bury that old self and start moving into your true self of who you're meant to be, oh man, that's when you're walking like the person you're meant to be. That's when you're resurrecting and burying that old self. The old rules don't apply anymore. You're not building from wounds. You're building from wisdom. You're not hustling for worth. You're executing from embodiment. You're not trying to earn a spot. You are the spot. You are the proof. You are the resurrection. The world's got enough people surviving out there. You? Nah, man, you ain't here to survive. You came to show them what it's like to live. Because feel me on this. The final test always comes after the resurrection. Because it's easy to talk purpose when you're still bleeding out. It's easy to say I'm changed when the pain is still fresh. But can you obey the new assignment when God gives you a direction that scares the shit out of you? Because there's going to be moments that are going to scare you. God's going to put you in tests where it's going to scare you. See, after I got sober, I went back into what I knew. I got into the financial industry. I mastered that world. 25 years of building, closing, winning. I could do it in my sleep. It was my first gift, my first mountain. And I dominated that shit. But then God whispered something into my spirit. And God said, you didn't go through all that just to make money. You're going to speak. You're going to coach. You're going to lead. And I froze. I froze not because I didn't believe I had something to say, but because I had no damn idea where to even begin. I felt like a rookie all over again. I didn't grow up on social media. I didn't have a ring light and a Canva template. I came from the old school, smile and dial and pound the phones, close deals, pound the pavement, outwork everybody. That's what I did. Hustle was in my bones. But this shit right here, this world of storytelling, being vulnerable, algorithms, funnels, content, man, shit, that's like learning a new language for me. And the craziest part, it wasn't even the marketing that shook the shit out of me the most. It was the surrender. It was letting go of control, trusting other people to carry the vision with me, letting God lead instead of me driving every outcome. That transition, that shit was messy, awkward, slow. I second guessed myself every step of the way. Yeah, Melissa, it could shut you down from starting. Procrastination is the grave in which opportunities buried. And there were nights I stared at a blank screen, wondering if I should have stayed in my lane. There were moments where I wanted to run back to what was safe, even if it wasn't sacred. But that's the thing about resurrection. It doesn't lead you back to your comfort zone. It leads you into your calling. And obedience, that's the real battleground. I had already died once. I wasn't about to kill my calling just because the next chapter felt unfamiliar. So I stayed in it. I showed up. I kept speaking. I kept building. And here I am, not just alive, but in assignment, in my calling, allowing my higher source that I call God to use me as a vessel. So the final day 7 challenge, write your own eulogy for the old you. Bury them. Bury them with words, not just filters. Number 2, record a 60-second video message to your future self and save it. Call your shot. Mark the moment. Save it. Put it in your file. And number 3, share a post, a story, a message that speaks from the new you, embodied, clear, crown it. And then I want you to speak this out loud before bed tonight. I want you to say, I died, but I didn't stay dead. And now I rise with power, with purpose, and without apology. Don't ever be apologetic for who you are. Don't ever be apologetic for walking and living in your purpose. That's who you are. You don't got to apologize to nobody. This was never about just showing up for a challenge. This was about unlocking the next chapter of your life. And now that you're here, don't just go and tiptoe. Don't apologize. Don't play nice with fear. You didn't come back to earth to be soft. You came back to be sent. Your comeback, it ain't optional anymore. That shit's already in motion. Go live like it. Your creator put this comeback in play years ago. It's your job to live it. It's your job to feel it. It's your job to move in it. It's your job to give it back, because your comeback don't just belong to you. It belongs to the people out there that you're going to impact. And let the world feel what it looks like when resurrection walks in the damn room. This right here was day 7. This is your comeback. And this is only only the beginning of you scratching the surface. You got so much inside of you to share with the world. Don't hold it in and be selfish, man. This wraps up the 7-day challenge, y'all. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Stay productive. Stay profitable. Stay purposeful. And most importantly, stay blessed, y'all. I'll see y'all on live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, y'all. Have a good one.